It's time for more Canto, this time Battle Theme D. I'm Corey, or Everything Fancy, and we're going to be analysing more of the soundtrack of Limbus Company. I know many of you have been requesting additional tracks, and please keep going, because if anything, it's motivating me even more to want to play the game. Also, there was a great comment from Aidan Richardson who asked whether I have a gaming channel where I could react to music as I'm playing the game. I don't at the moment, but I'd be interested. Let me know if that's something you'd be up for watching. Last time, we've heard Electro Swing. We've heard Samba. What are we going to get this time? Let's go for it. Oh, okay. Please help me. I've never experienced a game soundtrack with so much diversity. I've experienced a lot of games, and also personally written for games which require a lot of diversity in its soundtrack and a lot of variety, but none that matches the level of Limbus Company so far. So we've got a kind of Western style with kind of like Latin elements too as well. I usually use a piano to demonstrate things, but this time I'm gonna have to switch to a guitar VST, I think. Cool, we got our guitar. I'm gonna go to the beginning again. We are in the key of B minor this time. B minor. Oh, I love the use of guitars. It reminds me of... There's a lot of tracks that this reminds me of. Things like Gerudo Valley from Zelda, the Vamo alla Flamenco from Final Fantasy IX. The use of cajons is really cool as well. I've got a cajon somewhere, but that's the percussion instrument we hear. But we also hear a bass drum on top of that too, which kind of adds a lot of depth and power to the percussion. I was going to demonstrate some chord changes, but actually the chords have changed already. We're in 19 seconds in, and already we have a new section of the track as well. So we have incredibly fast strumming from the acoustic guitar. Oh, Corey contemplating bringing out the acoustic guitar just to try it out. Maybe if I get enough comments, I'll do it for another video. But chord change wise, so we mentioned that we're in B minor, and I think we go to a G. One thing that I've noticed actually in a lot of Limbus Company tracks so far is a 3-chord structure. So B minor, G major, G flat major. And I suspect we aren't going to move too much away from those 3 chords unless maybe we change key. You know what? I should maybe start doing like a Limbus Company analysis bingo or something. And one of the things I'd have on that bingo is key change. I have this weird feeling that we might get a key change here. I could be so off, but I'm really curious. And as usual, I'm very curious about context yet again. It's not too long ago that I was listening to Boss Battle Theme 1 from Canto 7, and it was not like this at all. It's giving me some ideas as to what I could expect when playing Limbus Company. It's almost like, are there different periods maybe? Is it the case that it's very theatrical? I think I almost see like a stage when looking at all of the background images. I'm really, really curious about this. So we actually have 4 chords now. That's really interesting. Here, instead of going to a G flat major, we go to a G flat minor. Also, why does that chord progression sound eerily familiar? Never gonna give you up reference, maybe? While you're here, I should mention that I also have a Patreon if you're interested in supporting the channel. It really helps. Thank you. I love that entire section. I really like it when pieces of music just feel empowered to stay on the same chord. So we just stay on a B minor the entire time. The bass, if we try and figure out what the bass is doing, it's just doing this throughout the entire time. And it gives a lot of room and space for the acoustic guitar to just go absolutely crazy and do whatever it wants by way of solo. It's a very common thing you'd expect to hear in tracks like this, but also just music in general, especially like in jazz, for example, when an instrument has a solo, everything else just, you know, stays a bit modest, stays a bit quiet. The percussion just keeps very, very consistent and lets the acoustic guitar go crazy throughout that entire section. I'm really, really enjoying this piece, to the point that I'm tempted to say this might actually be my favourite track from Limbus Company I've heard so far. Okay, we had a lot of stuff going on there. That almost requires a whole separate video of analysis. It almost felt like a key change, even though it absolutely wasn't. There's such a level of unpredictability with the way the chords change in this. So now we've gone to... A lot of chord extensions I've noticed as well. A chord extension is typically where you add a 7th or a 9th or any other interval like that to the chord that you're currently playing, because most chords are thirds stacked up on each other, so that would be a 7th. That is diminished. And it works incredibly well for the style in particular, given that we're going for Western aspects of Latin at the same time, and just general like fun. I can imagine the musicians working on this just having such a good time creating music like this. Oh, I'm so upset that I don't think we got a key. At least we didn't get it lingering to a particular root note for long enough to me to make the claim that there is now a key change. So yeah, Limbus Company bingo ruined on this occasion. But we do have incredibly interesting chord changes yet again throughout this entire piece. I just love... I can't personally think of another track from a projectmoon game that I've personally heard so far that uses the acoustic guitar so much. In fact, I'm struggling to think of a piece that actually uses acoustic guitar full stop. There's probably something that I'm overlooking. Obviously electric guitar, we have like Gebra's theme, for example, from Library of Ruina. But if there's another one that comes to mind, definitely let me know, because I can't immediately think of another projectmoon track, either from what I've heard from Limbus, me playing Library of Ruina, nor anything I've heard from Lobotomy Corporation that even uses an acoustic guitar, especially one like this as well. Again, there's probably a track that I'm not thinking about. Let me know in the comments. We have what I can only describe as a very bouncy bass line, which sounds something like this. It's what to me strikes me as so Western sounding in a way, as well as the percussion alongside it. The Latin feel typically comes from the percussion, and also the brass as well, which are doing shakes again, which we heard last time in the boss battle theme 1. So we're starting to hear some similarities. And I've also kind of thought to myself, I'm not too confident on this, but I'm sure chordally in terms of the structure, there were some similarities with boss battle theme 1 as well. I can't quite pinpoint exactly what they were yet, but I'm so confident there were. But again, it's just such a fascinating piece of music. I'm gonna proclaim here and now that this is the favourite of all I've listened to so far. So thanks for anyone who suggested this. And please keep the Limbus suggestions coming because I'm enjoying the soundtrack very much. And also, all of your insight into the stories, especially the non-spoiler ones, have been incredible to read too. I am reading all of them, so thank you for that. And yeah, until next time, thanks for watching and take care.